Today I will be speaking on the effects of ocean pollution. Ocean pollution affects just about every living organism. Did you know that over 1 million seabirds and 100,000 sea mammals are killed by pollution every year? Another troubling fact is approximately 40% of the lakes in America are too polluted for fishing, aquatic life, or swimming. Lastly, each year 1.2 million gallons of untreated sewage, stormwater, industrial waste are dumped into U.S. waters. In today's day and age, there are unfortunately many different forms of pollution. The ocean faces so many types of pollution daily, every second even. Not everyone truly understands just how important our oceans really are to us. Majority of our oxygen comes from the algae in the sea. By polluting our oceans, we are also minimizing our usable water and killing off beautiful marine life, as well as beloved sea animals. Even though the ocean holds so much value to mankind, we still continue to treat it with such disrespect, or as though it isn't a high-valued resource. Oceans are being ruined and destroyed by two major types of pollution, which also leads us into my first two main arguments: the effects of oil pollution on our oceans and the effects of waste/trash pollution on our oceans. The first subject we're going to go into is the effects of oil pollution for animals. As we already know, oil spills minimizes our resources such as air, water, but on top of destroying resources for ourselves, we are also harming sea life animals. For example, oil destroys the insulating ability of fur-bearing mammals and the ability to maintain their body temperature. Oil can also smother some small species of fish or invertebrates. Creatures most affected by oil spills are otters, seabirds, and sea turtles. Since most oils float on the top surface of the water, it's more likely for a seabird to either land in the oil or inhale the toxic fumes. Therefore, seabirds are harmed and killed in greater numbers. Oil spills frequently kill marine mammals such as whales, dolphins, seals, and sea otters. Oil can clog blowholes of whales and dolphins, making it impossible for them to breathe properly and disrupting their ability to communicate with others. Oil coats fur of otters and seals, leaving them vulnerable to hypothermia. Now moving into the effects of oil pollution for wildlife and habitat areas. Individuals neglect to think about the damages that oil spills cause to the wildlife covering the ocean floor. Oil spills cause harm to this wildlife through a few different ways. There's the physical contact with the oil, then ingestion of the oil, inhaling, and absorption. Floating oil contaminates plankton, which includes algae, fish eggs, and even the larvae of various invertebrates. Now looking into the effects on our ocean habitats. Oil has the potential to persist in the environment long after an oil spill has occurred. Sadly, oil has been detected in sediments 30 years after a spill. On our beautiful sandy beaches, oil can sink deep into the sediments and stick for years. Effects of oil in these systems have the potential to have long-term impacts on fish and wildlife population. Moving into the impacts of mismanaged trash for animals. Large numbers of sea life mistake floating trash for food if ingested. It can choke them or block their digestive system. Large debris such as oil fishing gear and nets can kill animals by strangulation or even prevent them from performing vital activities such as swimming. Trash smaller than 5 millimeters poses an additional threat because it absorbs toxic chemicals including DDT, PCBs, which can cause cancer to these animals, lowering their immune systems and making these animals more susceptible to diseases and other infections. Impacts on humans. Ingestion of plastic trash and the consequent updates of toxin absorptions is surface that transfer harmful chemicals through the food web into species eaten by humans. These can include molecules known to increase the risk of birth defects and cancer. The United States is also being impacted from an economic impact, seeing as though 85% of tourism comes from coastal ocean states, causing additional unnecessary costs in beach and ocean cleanups. In concluding that there is still much work that needs to be done in order to put a stop to ocean pollution. Pollution is impacting our way of living in many ways, as we just viewed. It's time we start bringing even more awareness to this serious situation and begin holding more people and large corporations accountable to their contribution to ocean pollution. The effects of oil pollution will slowly but surely begin to destroy each and every one of our beautiful coastal beaches due to the toxicity and volume. Trash and careless dumping could also be the downfall of mankind. Thank you.